The front door opened before I could knock. No hello, no smile, no hug. My mother stepped back and said, flat and sharp, "You'll babysit your brother's kids. We're leaving in the morning." I was still holding my suitcase. 10 hours in the air, jet lag buzzing behind my eyes. Behind her, my brother laughed. "Don't wipe your airport snot on her, kids," he said. "They might catch whatever failure she flew in with." They all laughed. Every single one of them. That was the moment something inside me went very still. If you believe family betrayal hurts worse than anything else, tap like right now. Subscribe if you want real raw revenge stories. And tell me in the comments what you would have done if this was you. My name is Eleanor. I'm 38 years old. And that doorway is where I finally understood why I was never meant to belong there. I stood frozen for a second too long. My mother noticed. "Well," she said, "you can put your bag in the guest room. You'll need to be up early. No welcome back. No thank you for coming home. Just instructions." I stepped inside. The house smelled the same. Pine cleaner, old carpet, control. The kids were already running through the living room, screaming, knocking things over. No one corrected them. My brother's wife glanced at me from the couch. "Oh," she said, "you made it." Like I was a delivery. Late and disappointing. I nodded. I always nodded. My mother closed the door behind me and locked it. Out of habit. Or ownership. "Dinner's almost ready," she said. "Don't get in the way." I followed my suitcase down the hall. Every step felt rehearsed. Like my body remembered how small to be here. The guest room hadn't changed. Same floral bedspread. Same cracked mirror. Same rule taped inside my chest. Don't take up space. I sat on the bed and stared at my hands. They were shaking. I told myself it was the flight. I lied. Downstairs, my brother raised his voice. "Mom, tell her not to use the good towels. She never respects anything." My mother answered without hesitation. "She knows better." I closed my eyes. That sentence had followed me my entire life. I went back downstairs. Dinner was loud, crowded. I wasn't offered a seat at first. My mother finally said, "You can sit there," pointing to the end of the table, near the high chairs, near the spills. My brother leaned back in his chair. "So," he said, "how's your job?" The pause before the word told me everything. "It's fine," I said. He smirked. "Still renting?" he asked. My mother jumped in. "She moves around too much," she said. "Never settles." Like stability was something I refused. Not something I was denied. I kept eating. The kids threw food. One hit my arm with a spoon. "Hey," I said softly. My brother snapped his fingers. "Kids will be kids," he said. "You're the babysitter. Deal with it." My mother nodded in agreement. I swallowed. After dinner, my mother clapped her hands once. "Okay," she said. "Let's go over tomorrow." She laid it out like a business plan. They were leaving at 6 a.m. A family trip. Flights booked, hotel paid. I wasn't invited. "You'll stay here with the kids," she said. "Feed them, school drop-offs, pickups, bedtimes." "For how long?" I asked. She frowned. "Don't be difficult." My brother laughed again. "Relax," he said. "It's not like you have a life to get back to." That one landed deep. I looked at my mother. "You asked me to come home," I said carefully. "You said you missed me." She waved her hand. "I needed help," she said. "And you didn't say no." There it was. The truth. Bare. Unapologetic. I nodded again. Later that night, I lay awake listening to the house breathe. Doors creaking. Footsteps overhead. I heard my mother whispering in the kitchen. "She owes us," she said. "After everything we've done." My brother replied, "She won't push back. She never does." They laughed quietly. I stared at the ceiling until it blurred. The next morning came too fast. Suitcases by the door. Coffee brewing. Children half-dressed and screaming. My mother handed me a list. Emergency numbers, schedules, rules. "No visitors," she said. "No messing with the thermostat. And don't tell them we're gone." I took the paper. My brother paused at the door. "Try not to break anything," he said. "And don't get attached. They won't remember you." Then they were gone. The door shut. The lock clicked. Silence followed. Heavy, intentional. The kids stared at me. One of them said, "Are you our maid?" I smiled. "No," I said. "I'm family." They frowned. Like that word didn't make sense. The first day was chaos. Spilled cereal, missed shoes, screaming fits. No thank you. No appreciation. By day 2, my phone buzzed. My mother. "Did you remember the vitamins?" Don't let them watch too much TV. Why isn't the laundry folded? No question about me. No, how are you holding up? Just demands. That night, I sat at the kitchen table with my laptop open. Not working, remembering, emails, messages, voicemails, years of me trying, explaining, asking, years of silence. On day 3, something shifted. I was packing lunches when I noticed the mail on the counter. Bills, legal envelopes, bank statements. My name wasn't on them. But something else was. A property management company. One I recognized. I froze. I'd worked with them before. Professionally. Briefly. I picked up the envelope. My mother's name, the address, a notice. I didn't open it. I didn't need to. That night, my brother texted, "Make sure the kids are asleep by 8. We don't want noise complaints." Noise complaints. I looked around the house. The walls, the floors, the neighborhood I grew up in, and for the first time, I saw it differently. Not as home, as leverage. On the 4th night, the doorbell rang. I wasn't expecting anyone. I checked the camera. A man in a suit, holding a folder. I didn't open the door. He left an envelope and walked away. I waited until the kids were asleep. Then I picked it up. It had my name on it, not handwritten, printed. Inside was a business card, and a single line typed beneath it. "We need to talk before Friday." My hands went cold. I looked at the date. Friday was tomorrow. I heard the kids stirring upstairs. I folded the paper carefully and slipped it into my bag. Then my phone buzzed again. A group message. My mother, my brother, his wife. A photo of them smiling at an airport gate, captioned, "Thanks for holding down the fort." I stared at the screen, and for the first time in my life, I didn't reply. Upstairs, one of the kids started crying. I stood slowly, every nerve awake, because somewhere between the locked door, the envelope, and that message, I understood something. They didn't bring me home to help. They brought me home because they thought I was still theirs, and they had no idea what I'd already stopped being. I didn't sleep. I lay on the guest bed staring at the ceiling fan as it ticked in uneven circles, counting the seconds between each faint creak of the house. The silence wasn't peaceful. It was watchful, like the walls were listening for me to step out of line. At 3 a.m, my phone vibrated. Unknown number. I let it buzz once, twice, then stop. I didn't answer. Not yet. At 6, the kids woke up screaming for cereal. I moved on autopilot. Bowls, milk, wipes, shoes. I tied laces with shaking fingers, while my mind stayed fixed on that envelope sitting deep inside my bag. The business card stared up at me every time I opened the zipper. Clean, minimal, corporate. The kind of card you don't hand to someone unless something already went wrong. By 8, the house looked like a small storm had passed through it. I cleaned quietly. Too quietly. The kids noticed. "Why are you being weird?" the oldest asked. "I'm tired," I said. She shrugged and went back to her tablet. At 10, my mother texted, "Send pictures. I want proof they're okay." Proof. I sent one photo. Wide angle. No faces, no smiles. She replied immediately. "Smile next time. Don't look miserable." I set the phone down and felt something tighten in my chest. Not pain. Focus. At noon, the doorbell rang again. This time, I checked the camera and recognized the logo on the man's briefcase. Property management. My stomach dropped. I waited until the kids were distracted, then opened the door just enough to step outside and pull it shut behind me. "Yes?" I asked. He looked surprised to see me. "Are you Mrs. Whitman?" he asked. "No," I said. "I'm her daughter." Something shifted in his expression. "Oh," he said. "Right." He glanced down at his clipboard. "I was told she'd be available today." "She's traveling," I said. "How can I help?" He hesitated. "Well," he said carefully, "there are a few things that need clarification. Ownership issues. Documentation." I felt the air thin. "What kind of documentation?" I asked. He cleared his throat. "Perhaps it would be better if I spoke directly with—" "You can speak to me," I said. "My name is Eleanor." He studied me for a moment, then nodded. "There have been changes," he said. "Recent ones, and some discrepancies." Discrepancies. He handed me another envelope. "Please have her call us as soon as possible." I took it. "Of course," I said. He left without another word. I stood on the porch, long after he drove away. Inside the house, one of the kids dropped something and started crying. The sound snapped me back. I didn't open the envelope yet. I waited until bedtime. I waited until the house was quiet again. Then, I sat at the kitchen table, placed both envelopes side by side, and opened them carefully. The first was a notice. Formal, polite, cold, a review of assets, a restructuring, a pending transfer. The second was shorter, a meeting request, with my name listed as a party of interest. I read that line 3 times. Party of interest. I hadn't been listed on anything in that house since I was 17. My phone buzzed again. My brother. Kids okay? He asked. Yes, I typed. Good, he replied. Make sure you don't snoop. Mom hates that. I stared at the message. Then I smiled. That night, I went into my old room, the one my mother had turned into storage. Boxes stacked against the walls, holiday decorations, old paperwork shoved into corners. I remembered where she kept things. She'd never changed her habits. The bottom drawer of the filing cabinet stuck. I pulled harder. It opened with a squeal. Deeds, mortgage papers, trust documents. My hands shook as I flipped through them. Names blurred together until one stopped me cold. Mine, printed, official, undeniable. I sat back on the floor. The room spun. I hadn't imagined it. I hadn't misunderstood. Years ago, quietly, strategically, when my parents needed help navigating something complex, something financial, they'd used my name. Because I was responsible. Because I was invisible. Because I wouldn't ask questions. My phone rang. My mother. I didn't answer. It rang again. I silenced it. At midnight, I finally called the number on the business card. It rang once. Eleanor, a man said calmly. I'm glad you called. How do you know my name? I asked. He paused. Because you're listed, he said. On everything. Everything. He explained slowly, carefully, like he was diffusing something. I listened without interrupting. When he finished, I sat in silence for a long time. So, I said finally, they don't know. No, he replied. They believe they're in control. I left once. Soft, unfamiliar. What happens now? I asked. That, he said, depends on you. The call ended. I stayed at the table until dawn. By morning, my hands had stopped shaking. I followed the routine again. Breakfast, shoes, drop-offs. The world outside the house kept moving. Cars passed, neighbors waved. No one knew what sat beneath that roof. That afternoon, my mother sent another message. We might extend the trip, she wrote. Don't make plans. I typed back slowly. Okay. One word. It felt powerful. The next day, the kids came home with notes from school, field trips, permission slips. I signed them all. My name. Clear, confident. That night, I received an email, a draft, for my review. I read it twice. Then a third time. It wasn't revenge. It was alignment. My phone buzzed again. My brother, this time calling. I answered. What? I said. Mom's upset, he snapped. She says you're being distant. I'm busy, I said. With what? He demanded. I smiled. Family responsibilities, I said. He scoffed. Don't get smart, he warned. You're only there because we let you be. I said nothing. He hung up. I walked into the living room and looked around. The furniture, the walls, the life they thought was theirs. That night, I packed my bag. Not to leave, to be ready. On the 5th day, my mother called again. Video this time. I answered. Her face filled the screen. Sunburned, relaxed, smiling. Why haven't you been sending pictures? She asked. I've been busy, I said. She narrowed her eyes. Busy doing what? She pressed. I met her gaze. Managing things, I said. She laughed. You're babysitting, she said. Don't exaggerate. Something flickered behind her eyes. I saw it. Uncertainty. The call ended abruptly. That evening, another email arrived. Confirmation. Effective immediately. I closed my laptop slowly. My heart pounded. Not from fear, from clarity. I stood by the front window and watched the sun go down over the neighborhood. Every house looked the same. Identical. Orderly. Owned. Upstairs, one of the kids called my name. I went up and tucked them in. They asked, Are you staying forever? I brushed hair off her forehead. No, I said, but I'll make sure you're okay. Downstairs, my phone buzzed again. A group message. My mother, my brother, his wife. Change of plans, my mother wrote. We're coming home early. Tomorrow night. My chest tightened, then relaxed. I typed nothing. I looked around the house one last time. The locks, the doors, the spaces they'd never imagined losing. Because the dangerous part wasn't that they were coming back. It was that they still believed this house belonged to them, and by the time they realized the truth, there would be no way to pretend it hadn't always been mine. The front door opened at 7:42 p.m. I remember the time because I was standing in the kitchen, staring at the clock, waiting for the sound. When it came, it didn't startle me. It confirmed something. Suitcases rolled across the tile. Laughter followed. My brother's voice was louder than the rest. Already irritated, already impatient, my mother stepped inside first. She stopped when she saw me. No hug, no smile. Just a pause that lasted a second too long. "You're still here," she said. "Yes," I replied. Her eyes moved past me. The living room, the hallway, the lights on, the house intact. She relaxed. "Where are the kids?" she asked. "Asleep," I said. "It's a school night." She waved that off and turned toward the kitchen, already reaching for the counter like she owned it. My brother dropped his bag with a thud. "Finally," he muttered. "I need a shower." This trip was a disaster. I watched them move through the house, like nothing had changed, like I was still temporary, like they were still permanent. My sister-in-law barely acknowledged me. She looked tired, edgy. "Did they behave?" she asked. "Yes," I said. "They're good kids." My brother laughed. "Good for you," he said. "You finally found something you're useful for." I didn't react. I poured myself a glass of water and took a slow sip. My hands were steady. My mother noticed. She narrowed her eyes. "You seem calm," she said. "I am," I replied. She didn't like that answer. "We need to talk," she said. "Tomorrow, all of us." I nodded. "Of course," I said. She hesitated again, just a flicker. Then she turned away. That night, I slept better than I had in days. In the morning, the house felt tense. My mother moved sharply. Cabinets closed harder than necessary. My brother paced, already irritated by small things. At breakfast, my mother placed herself at the head of the table. "This isn't a discussion," she said. "It's a clarification." I took my seat across from her. "Go on," I said. She glanced at my brother, then back to me. "We've noticed some interference," she said carefully. "Calls, emails, confusion." I met her gaze. "Have you?" I asked. Her jaw tightened. "Yes," she snapped. "And we don't appreciate it." My brother leaned forward. "If you've been snooping," he said, "you need to stop." I smiled faintly. "I didn't snoop," I said. "I was contacted." That landed differently. My mother froze. "Contacted by who?" she asked. I stood up. "Let's move this to the living room," I said. "There's something I need to show you." They followed me. Not because they trusted me, because they were curious. I picked up the folder from the coffee table and handed it to my mother. She flipped it open, her face drained of color. "What is this?" she demanded. "Read it," I said. She scanned the page, then another. Her hands started to shake. My brother leaned over her shoulder. "What the hell is that?" he asked. I sat down. "It's documentation," I said. "Updated ownership records." My mother looked up at me, eyes sharp with panic. "This isn't funny," she said. "I know," I replied. My brother snatched the folder. "That's not possible," he said. "This house is ours." "No," I said calmly. "It hasn't been. Not for a long time." Silence filled the room. My sister-in-law spoke first. "What do you mean?" she asked quietly. I looked at her. "I mean the legal ownership," I said. "The financial responsibility, the liabilities." My brother laughed, harsh and disbelieving. "You're lying," he said. "You wouldn't even know how." I reached into my bag and placed the business card on the table. "Call them," I said. "They'll explain." My mother stood abruptly. "You did this," she hissed. "You went behind our backs." I shook my head. "No," I said. "You went behind mine." Her mouth opened, closed. She didn't deny it. "You used my name," I continued. "Years ago, when it was convenient, when you needed someone reliable." My brother stared at me. "What are you talking about?" he said. I looked at him. "You were too risky," I said. "They didn't trust you." That hurt him more than anything else. My mother's voice dropped. "We were protecting the family," she said. I stood. "You were protecting yourselves," I replied. "And you assumed I wouldn't notice." My brother's phone buzzed. He ignored it. "You can't just take everything," he said. "This is our home." I met his eyes. "I didn't take it," I said. "I've been carrying it." That landed. My sister-in-law sat down slowly. "You mean," she started. "All of this time?" "Yes," I said. My mother's face hardened. "We can fix this," she said. "We'll talk to our lawyer." "You already did," I said. "So did I." Her confidence cracked. My brother's phone buzzed again. This time he answered. "Yeah?" he snapped. Then his expression changed. "What?" "No, that's not." He went quiet. I watched the color drain from his face. He hung up slowly. "That was the bank," he said. "They froze the account." My mother grabbed the phone from his hand. She dialed furiously. Her voice rose with each sentence. "No, there must be a mistake. My daughter—" She stopped, looked at me, hung up. "You planned this," she whispered. I nodded once. "I prepared," I said. The room felt smaller. My sister-in-law stood. "We should go," she said to my brother. "Where?" he snapped. She didn't answer. My mother's voice broke. "You would destroy us?" she asked. I shook my head. "No," I said. I stepped away. She laughed bitterly. "You think this makes you powerful?" she said. I looked at her. "No," I replied. "It makes me finished." They didn't speak after that. By evening, suitcases were packed again. Quieter this time. No laughter, no entitlement. My brother avoided my eyes. My mother stopped at the door. "You owe us," she said. I met her gaze. "I paid," I said. "For years." She left without another word. The house felt different after they were gone. Lighter, honest. I didn't stay. I locked the door behind me and left the keys on the counter. I moved into a small place across town. Nothing fancy. Quiet. Mine. I still see their names sometimes. Messages that go unanswered. Calls that stop ringing. I don't feel angry anymore. Just clear. If you're listening to this and you've ever been treated like you were disposable by the people who should have protected you, I want to ask you something. What would happen if you stopped trying to earn a place that was never offered? Sometimes the most devastating thing you can do isn't revenge, it's refusal. If this story made you feel something, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Where are you listening from? What would you have done differently? And if you want more real, raw stories like this, you know what to do. Like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the comments.